Okay, we are live. Let me turn it around. I just want to say hello to everybody. I'm here at Hidden Pond with several people. I'll introduce you in a minute. I'm sorry I'm a little late, but you know, we had to get ready. And Phil is here, and I'll introduce you. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what's going on, okay? Hang on. All right. Well, this is Phil, and he's performing an equine massage therapy on Magic. Now, Magic apparently is very sore, which we could tell from the way he stands and stuff, but I honestly didn't realize how sore until Phil started doing the massage, because he has moved over. You can see how his body is just reacting to the touch, especially in certain places. Look at his face. He is really feeling this. This will be good for him. It's like anything. Just think of yourself when you get a sore muscle or something. What's the best thing for it? You rub it out, right? Even though it hurts getting it rubbed out, in the end, it's really a great treatment. So I'm gonna come back to Phil in a second, because I wanted to say, this is my friend Heidi. She lives in Epping. I asked her to hang on to him while he received this treatment. There's a lot going on at the farm right now, but we have lots of people here. Real quick, that's Heather. My friend Cindy and my awesome son Clayton. So we're all just learning here. This is the first time that I have experienced live, so to speak, the therapies and the natural holistic way to treat a horse. Represents Hidden Pond Farm in a lot of equine places. It's the way to go. It's the right way to go. These horses don't need to be manhandled. No horse does. They are compassionate. They are sweet. And manhandling them will just, take you the wrong way. So now he's at a spot that I really want to focus on, because Magic was a standardbred trotter. Well, he is a standardbred. He was a trotter. He made about $200,000 during his career. After his career was over, he ended up with the Amish. Now, the Amish, I can move that stuff. The Amish use their horses for work, as we know, but they really use them. They use them hard, and they do, I believe, decent care, not to the extent that I do or other people maybe here, but they do run them into the ground. So after they're done with them, they take them right straight to the kill pen. They don't even take them to auction. They take them straight there and get their money and move on to the next one. So unfortunately, Magic is really got some problems behind. I can show you closer another time, because I want to watch and show you how Phil's doing. But also too, I want to show you, see his body language. His body language is huge. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can kind of see it. Him having his ears back is not him. So he's really feeling this. He's trying to behave. He's a good boy. He's dying to eat that rope, kind of like something to do during this procedure. This leg back here that's up and resting, he has trouble putting weight on his legs, because his pasterns have been just so worn down that they almost touch the ground. So he's really sore, and we're going to work on that soon, getting him stronger so that he can. But the massage he's doing right now is highly effective on that hind area. We thank Phil for coming during shedding season. He's going to go home covered in hair. Good. Awesome. All right. So we're just going to move him over, because he's going to do the other side. Him.
Encouraging lateral flexion.
Oh, okay. So this is
the ability to flex very far laterally.
Oh. Well, that's something I could do to him.
Also helps to relax the muscles around his pelvis.
Oh, that's fantastic. He seems to be kind of okay with that too.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything that hurt him.
No, but I mean, like, he's comfortable with it. He's not responding. Yeah. Magic's super about, you only really need to like give him a little touch and he does whatever you ask. He is a fantastic horse to work and learn on, so I always offer that opportunity to anybody who is interested in learning about horses. The groundwork is where we start, and I can show you so many things, and I would recommend, Magic is a great mentor. So it would be, me showing you a Magic. I've already showed children, little itty bitty kids, 5 years old. There's one actually here at the farm, and a handicapped child, amongst adults. He's just easy to work with. See how he's resting that back foot again? Again, he's just so tired behind. I'm gonna warn you guys, my battery just warned me that it was low. So, but see, now look at his ears are up and his head is turned. That feels good to him. That really, he loves that. He loves it. His ears are forward. That's a sign that he's thrilled with this particular area being massaged. Isn't that nice? Hey, Morris. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for watching, you guys. Okay, I'm going to post it too on Facebook because it's so educational about everything, really. Phil doing his thing, Magic being awesome. He's never met Heidi. This is the first time he's met Heidi, so he's great with strangers. He's great with people hanging around his paddock and watch. He's just super. I'm so grateful. Really am. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, close to, I've read different statistics. Anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000 horses a year get shipped out to Mexico or Canada. And Canada sometimes even ships them over to Asia for slaughter, for horse meat, to be sold to, I believe, China and whoever else eats horse meat over there. I wanted to say Germany. But, it's a pretty disgusting high number. And figure we're only able to save a handful. I watched a video recently of them loading and unloading and loading, and it just breaks your heart. They're beautiful animals. What are we doing? They've helped us our whole life, our whole, they've helped America through wars. They work for us, they race for us, and then what, right? I don't know. We make it an industry of money. So my next step is I'm going to actually go to some auctions, because at the auctions you get that live look, just like I am with Phil today, So I've heard about this therapy, and I'm digging into the holistic side of working with horses, because that's what I want to do with Magic. He doesn't need a halter, he doesn't need a bridle, he doesn't need anything. That is my goal with him, and he's the perfect one to do it. So here's my first step really on getting him to just stand there nicely and behave through all of this. I'm not surprised that he's doing this, but here, I'm glad that he is responding well. So at the auction you get first-hand experience, and that's what drives me. Anybody that wants to go with me, you're more than welcome. I believe there's one coming up in Maryland, what I discovered, and there's some in Pennsylvania. So as far as local, now the other side of the country has them pretty frequently, meaning like Texas all the time. I can't think of where else. Oregon, California, many states. Iowa was approved. So, and each state has their own legislation. So each state really needs some sort of new legislation, and federally we do as well. So, and that's all being worked on. But here's the deal, guys. It's been worked on for years and years. Just can't get it to seem to be, a forever thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's the changing of the guards I do believe it's the changing of the administration that causes some problems. But at the end of the day, just horrible what we do. So, hey, Chris, thanks for watching. And where's your wife? Because I know she loves horses, and I would. She's probably out riding, right? But thanks for joining. Hi, William. Thanks for joining as well. If you guys aren't sure what it was, because I didn't have time to title this, I'll title it after. So here's Phil. He's doing equine massage therapy on my horse Magic. Magic is super sore from his careers of racing and the Amish, and he's just in such a need of some physical therapy, if you will, on a regular basis would be awesome. And that would really help. And as the spring comes, we can move him better. Winter was tough because it's icy and stuff, and I can't take him out on the ice and have him slip and fall. So that, it's not good for him to stand still. He needs to move around, and we'll be doing that from now on that the weather is much better. So Phil, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I started doing people in '93.
Oh, okay.
And I've been doing horses about maybe 5 years.
Excellent.
Yeah. Do mostly people.
Still, okay.
Yeah, mostly people and, some horses.
Yep. And do you live locally?
Derry.
In Derry, that's not too far. So he lives in Derry if anybody needs him. Either a person or a horse. If you look at how Magic is responding, he's responding very well, but you can tell it's tight, really tight. Really tight, yeah. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for joining us. In my opinion, this is the only way to go when you want to have a horse. You just gotta. They're just like big dogs, I always say. Treat them well. They love to please you. Never manhandle. Take your time. Be patient. Just work with them. It's all about trust and the connection. And you'll have a much better horse than if you try and force him to do anything. He's resting that leg again. So I just keep I have to show that to you so much because it just indicates what's going on. And if you pay attention to body language, boy, you'll get to know your horse pretty darn fast.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with it. It just got to the point my back, I had to stop chewing. So for a few years I was shoeing and doing massage.
You were shoeing? Is that what you said? You were.
I was a farrier first.
Oh, wow.
I was a farrier for 27 years.
Wow.
And then I had to give that up in '01, my back. And but I knew the end was coming, so I went to massage school in '92. Oh, really? And I opened my first office in '93. So from '93 to 2001, I would alternate a day of shoeing with a day of body work.
Okay.
And then in 2001, my back just totally.
Yeah.
I had to give it up.
Being a farrier is tough, for sure.
And that's when I went full time with massage.
Yep.
But at first, I didn't want to do equine massage because I had my filler horses.
Oh, right, yeah.
27 years of shoeing.
Yeah, right.
And but eventually, as years went by, I regained my passion for horses. And
Yep.
finally said yes to people.
Excellent.
Yeah, I turned down a lot of people for a long time, but
Yep.
finally gave in.
I think it's cool that they were asking, to try this on their animals. I'm glad you did. We really appreciate you being here. Anything that can help this boy, huh?
I appreciate being called.
Yeah. Anything that can help this boy, I'm in.
You can see how he's.
Yeah. So watch. Go ahead. You can talk.
You can see how he feels this. How his body is kind of, almost trembling as
I see that. Yep.
So he's having what we call a good hurt right now.
Yes.
It hurts, but it feels good. He can tell this is therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. Yeah, he's putting his head down.
That's why he's not
his head's down.
and not trying to get away.
He's not. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
No, he likes that. That's great. So his head down, being relaxed. That's a nice relaxed state. And if your horse does that, they're just comfortable with whatever's going on. His ears aren't either way. They're just kind of He's paying attention to our voices, but he's not showing any, because I always talk to you guys about the ears. Watch the ears, this is how they communicate. He's just saying, oh man, thank you.
Most motion lameness has a muscle problem at its core.
Ah, good to know.
Yeah. That's motion lameness, not
Yep.
all lameness.
Okay, yep.
That's different than, like, you know, a founder or anything else that might happen.
Yep.
I'm talking about motion lameness. So,
And that would make sense. So I'll have to figure out how to slowly work with him to not, injure him, re-injure or whatever.
most important thing is that you get a saddle that fits the horse correctly.
Yep.
Not so much that it's comfortable for you. I mean, that's important too. But it's important that it fits the horse correctly.
Okay.
Because almost every saddle I look at doesn't fit the horse correctly. There's pressure on the spine, or it's preventing the scapula from coming up and back. When the horse takes a stride in front, the scapula comes up and back. And if there's not enough room between the saddle and the horse's body, that's restricting his ability to extend in front.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense.
The weight from the saddle pushes the horse's back down.
Right.
Which makes his pelvis come up, which puts his back legs out behind him. Then the horse has a hard time collecting themselves under their body, which they need to do to propel themselves forward.
Right.
Propulsion is achieved by the back end. So also that, then because they can't support their weight in the back, they shift their weight to the front, then they get heavy on the forehand, start to trip and so forth. Yeah. So there's a whole series of events that occurs from a poor fitting saddle, and causes the horse's posture to get all distorted.
Yeah. That's interesting, and I'll be honest with you, this is the first place that I talk a lot about, this is the first place that I've learned, and so I learned a certain way, and I don't know, right or wrong, I believe I learned incorrectly, so here I am learning correctly. And the saddle thing that he was talking about, properly fitting, I've seen it over and over and over again. They don't properly fit. I didn't even know there was such a thing till recently, because this farm does that. They take the time to fit properly, and so again, learning again. I feel like I'm learning over, but because it's my passion, it's all good.
I think most saddles are built to fit men's pelvises and not women's. It creates a problem for women to try to stay in the correct position.
True.
On the horse. A lot of times when people think the horse is being uncooperative, it's not that they're being uncooperative, but it means they're hurting somewhere, and they have no other way to tell the person than by acting up.
Yep.
That's right, they don't want to appear vulnerable, because in the wild, if an animal appears vulnerable, predators pick up on that right away. Yeah, so horses are very good at hiding their pain. It's interesting, a lot of problems I was expected to fix as a farrier from the ground up, I realize now the problems caused by muscles way above the feet. Yeah.
Well, I always attribute it to my own body and try and say, take the education about the horse, like what he was saying, mostly 9 times out of 10, I guess, are muscle related or something, from the top that creates problems down below, so I think, oh geez, like me, if I get a sore muscle, now I've thrown off my body, and I know now I'm sore in the other, it all makes sense. And then, yeah, at the end of the day, my feet will hurt for whatever, if I don't stand up straight, if I put too much pressure on one side, if my saddle don't fit. So it's absolutely right.
Well, there's also problems that occur from the ground up, like for a person, if you have overpronation, in other words, if your arch falls down.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to change your knee.
Yes.
Position, which is going to make this hip drop. It's going to affect your low back, all the way up the kinetic chain, up into your neck.
So it's interesting you bring that up. We're going to talk about me for a minute. So for a long time in my career, I have a stand-up position. That's great, right? Ergonomically, stand-up position. Here's the problem. I was doing this the whole time. And I'm back at the knee. So guess where I ended up? I ended up in therapy and educated. I didn't even realize what I was doing and causing the problems. Not standing up straight, just all that little stuff that we have to be mindful of to keep your body balanced.
Or putting your head and neck into what they call anterior head carriage, where your head and neck come forward of your shoulders. Gravity grabs it, then the muscles posterior have to work extra hard to keep it up off your chest.
And that probably happens a lot with a lot of people on the computers and stuff.
Exactly, it's what I call computer neck.
Yeah, or even when the phones, we've got our phones down low and our necks bent. Yeah.
The body really doesn't do well when it's forced to maintain the same position for several hours a day. No matter what the position is, sitting, standing, whatever, we're not meant to stay in the same position for long periods.
He that's what he does. That's him. He does that when I walk. I think it's just, I really haven't figured that out, because when we walk, he's great. He doesn't, he doesn't do any of these head motions, but again, he's just he's feeling the massage. That's all. He's just feeling the massage. He can only go so far. But yeah, I love it when he sticks his tongue out. I'm like, I should get a picture of that. Is it still out? Is it still out, buddy? You're doing good. You're doing very good. I always talk to my horses pretty much the entire time I'm with them. See, look at, he was sticking his tongue out. Or he's gnawing on it. So now, when I was hanging on to him, he was gnawing on the lead, and of course I wouldn't let him do that, so now he's going to gnaw on his tongue. And it's really just, it's just his way of dealing with the pushing on the muscles. And so, well, this is interesting, yeah. This one seems to bother him a little bit more than the other side, huh?
Well, they usually have one hollow side and one...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh.
So just like people, you have one dominant side.
Yeah.
You can bend, put your arm up behind your back better with one arm than the other.
True.
So yeah, none of us have symmetry of muscle tone.
Interesting.
We have certain muscle groups that are chronically hypertonic. Hypertonic means hyper is too much, like hyperactive. Tonic refers to the tone or tightness of the muscle.
Okay.
So hypertonic means too much tone or too tight.
Okay.
So we have certain muscle groups that are chronically hypertonic. When one muscle group tightens and shortens, the whole rest of the body has to accommodate that. So then you see other muscle groups changing their tone to accommodate that.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
That's why we get all distorted.
Right.
And
yeah.
eventually leads to
right.
symptoms.
It does. It does.
And
so this is his.
Like opposites, right? Because you're compensating, so you end up with issues on opposite sides.
Well, you probably don't. Well, you could have. Yeah, but it's probably not what's called an anatomically short leg. An anatomically short leg means you would have a shorter bone in one leg than the other. It's usually the tibia.
Hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Typically, what happens though, as I was saying, certain muscle groups tighten up and cause your pelvis to go into a torque. So instead of having a balanced pelvis, you'll have one ilium bone, which is an anterior tilt, and one is in a posterior tilt. When the pelvis moves, where the leg fits into it also moves, and will pull one leg up. So it's not that the bones are actually shorter in one leg, it's the muscles have distorted your skeleton, so the measure's short. It's an easy fix.
We know a good therapist in Derry. All right, let's see what we got going. Again.
I'm just trying to get him behind his scapula there.
All right, let me check out. Thank you. So he's getting inside his scapula, which is the shoulder.
His spine is down here.
Okay.
It's not up here. The spine, you can feel the vertebra, okay? And
cool.
Then it goes down in behind.
Yep.
Big scapula here. Shoulder blade right here.
Yeah.
So C6 and C7 are down in behind here.
C6 and C7 means what?
Cervical vertebra.
Okay.
C stands for cervical.
Okay.
So 6 and 7 would be the bottom two.
So
Before it turns into the thoracic.
So what you're doing now is going to help him. Is it like so you
help loosen up his neck and loosen up his shoulder.
Like is there ligaments and muscles in there? Do you want me to get on the other side so he doesn't? I can do that. Sorry, buddy. I'm going to come over here. So it's all right, honey. It's all right. Okay. We're good. I'm just. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. He's such a good boy. Oh, sorry. My lives. So that was. I mean, you know what? When Magic gets, distorted, that's probably the worst I've ever seen him. He's such a good boy. Oh, good luck getting that up. Let's see if he can pick this foot up. The hardest leg ever. Yeah, well, and look at how close he stands. I usually separate him. Oh, how'd you do that? Well, he's a farrier. He would know. You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry, forgot. Say that again. So you're gonna have to show me that too.
Just stretching out his shoulder.
Awesome.
And now I'm gonna.
This is cool right here.
So this is actually erasing negative muscle memory, so that he can move better.
That's awesome. Right? Oh, I like checking him out. He's a sniffer. Right? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, buddy. Good boy. All right, so then he picks it up, no problem. Oh, I got to get some lessons on that. What'd you say?
You gotta do it like you mean it.
Oh, I try. Yeah, I just.
But you're his mom.
He leans on me and stuff, and yeah. I mean, usually I can get him, but not lately for some reason. And I just assumed it was because he's just not feeling well. His muscles obviously are tight, and
I noticed that the other day with his mom.
Okay, this is definitely not.
yeah.
Just like moving, changing from position.
Yeah, and yeah, when I was walking, yeah.
Help him to be able to extend better.
Excellent.
Of course, if his head's hanging down,
yeah,
he can't get his legs out.
Yeah, no, I always keep that up. What, honey?
You want me to still move this?
If you can, go ahead. So we found this big rock in his pasture that needs to go. So Clayton's going to work on that for me. Yeah, so this one, there we go.
My son does too.
This is a good angle right here. We can really see. And again, watch Magic's expression. Watch what, you can see it all in this. So he's got his ears not pinned back. He's focused on what Phil's doing. His ears are telling me that. He's really focused on what he's doing, which is great. That he's cooperative. Oh, that's awesome. What? His face is still happy. I gotta tell you guys, I don't know if you know, I always have trouble picking up these two front legs. So I'm hoping this is gonna help, and Phil's gonna give me a couple of tips later on, maybe how to do it a little easier. Look at that, now his ears are up. He's like, this is wonderful. That's good. That's very good. Oh, I wish I had the whole body so you could see just the... Oh gosh, he's so happy right now. Aw. We're all happy when our kids are happy, right? Yay!
Now I'm going to lift up his back.
Okay.
Well, first we're going to tilt the pelvis back.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
So that tilts
Interesting.
Back.
Yeah.
Now I'll do the rest of the back.
Gosh, how cool is this, huh?
Yeah, that part's cool.
Oh my gosh. That's
That's
neat.
where his back should be. Saddle pressure pushes it down.
Yeah.
Saddle pressure pushes his back down. When that happens, these muscles go flaccid. They lose all their tone because they have to lengthen for these to shorten.
Yeah.
And when these muscles atrophy from saddle pressure, you can't hold his back up anymore.
Again, another good reason to get it fitted
This helps
properly.
him to start working those muscles again.
Yeah. You hear all that creaking?
Maybe a little uncomfortable for him because he hasn't used these muscles in a while, but
Yep.
if you do this every day, you'll train those muscles to hold his spine up.
Awesome.
Hold his back up. You'll have a nice top line.
And how many times do you recommend I do this a day? Like 3 times?
Come into grooming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt him.
Nope.
You can't
Nope.
really overdo it. If you do it too much, you're gonna get sick of it.
Yeah.
But if you do it every day, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I'll do it every time I groom him. So he gets groomed once a day, but so maybe 3 times. Do what you just did. He seemed to be good with it. All right.
So the pelvis are just
Okay.
to the side of his dock here.
Okay.
Just
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Hey Scott, thanks for joining. So this is Magic. He's getting a massage therapy. He's a super horse that is so sore, muscle-wise, and his back legs and stuff. So Phil came in to help us out and doing a massage.
pain there. It's like people, they get temporomandibular joint issues.
Yeah. So you could tell he has pain there?
He doesn't have
Oh, he
anything.
doesn't. Okay.
No. And that's largely due to people pulling on the bridle, heavy hands, rough hands. Or sometimes if their incisors get too long and their molars can't occlude, a lot of pressure back there, and that creates pain in the TMJ.
So make sure you get your horse's teeth floated and don't pull on the bridle. Like I told you, be gentle. Aw.
Okay, good boy.
Awesome.
Okay, he's all set.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can I ask you a question?
Question time.
His back, I don't know, I'm new to all the horse terms.
This is Heather. She works with Tucker and Papa.
Is it an ankle,
The pastern, right?
Which
Is it-
joint you?
That one.
Okay, that's it.
It's supposed to be up more, but the older they get, is that
It's not supposed to be straight.
No,
It shouldn't be straight. Then he has no way to dissipate the shock, the compression, and then the concussion is the opposing
I
force.
think she's wondering if he's just dipped down.
Yeah,
He's dipped down a bit, especially on the right. That
Yeah.
pastern.
and it gets big. It blows up with
Yeah.
yeah. So.
And then the joint.